So previously we talked about the various IP protection routes that are available, where we said we have the national route, which is done through a selected country where you want to file for IP protection. So each country has its own set of laws that allows it to protect intellectual property. And these intellectual property rights are territorial, which means they cannot be extended to another country, or you cannot claim your rights in a different country from where you have filed. Then we have the regional route, which is governed by the regional protocols. Then again we have the international route, which is also governed by the international protocols, conventions, and agreements. A key thing about international routes and regional routes is that for them to be recognized in a country, or for the rights that are granted through these two routes to be recognized, a member or a country has to have ratified and acceded to these relevant protocols and agreements. For example, if it's patents, your country must have agreed to be part of the Patent Cooperation Treaty. If it's a regional route, maybe it's patents in Africa under ARIPO, your country must have agreed to be bound by the tenets of the Harare Protocol, which is the protocol that governs the registration of patents and utility models in ARIPO member states. If it's trademarks under the international route, your country must have agreed or acceded to the relevant protocol, in this case, the Madrid Agreement. So someone might ask, what are the benefits of protecting my intellectual property? For example, what are the advantages? For instance, what are the advantages of protecting patents, or of protecting my IP through patents? One, you are given exclusive right to exploit your technology for the 20-year period the patent is valid. So in each and every country where you file your intellectual property, you have 20 years of exclusivity. No one else is allowed to exploit that patent without your permission or approval. So anyone who wants to exploit your patent will need either to get a license or a franchise or a partnership agreement from you for them to be able to exploit that right. And also, when you're filing for patent protection, it gives you an opportunity to capture every detail about the technology that you are going to be protecting. So if you're not protecting your technology, chances of you documenting everything in detail, sometimes they are very minimum, and that technology or that information will be lost in the passage of time. But filing for patent protection allows you to capture everything in detail. And also, patents, businesses are making money by creating patent portfolios, which they can license out, or they can sell, or they can use for collaborations. So remember, we mentioned that the old economy was based on tangible things, raw materials, land, etc. These days, this is based on knowledge, data, information. And this information is contained in patent portfolios. Some people just specialize in creating new technologies which they know can solve a particular problem. Maybe let's say telecoms, you realize the current system for video calls is not that efficient in terms of maybe high power consumption, high data cost. You can come up with your innovation that will ensure that battery life on mobile devices is saved, data efficiency, lowering the cost of people making calls. Then you can patent that technology and you can be able to license it out to mobile device manufacturers and you make money out of it. Also, once you've registered your technology, protected with patents, you can now easily be able to enforce your rights, which means if you see someone making anything with your technology that is patented, you can sue that person, take the various or the relevant legal steps, and be paid for damages, which is also another way of making money. So, besides making money from licensing, you can also make money from what? From lawsuits by enforcing your rights. Registering for patents doesn't only come with advantages, it also has its own fair share of challenges. The first thing is it is quite expensive to register for a patent. Whichever route you are going to take, be it the regional route, the national route, or the international route, it's quite expensive. Worse off when you file for a patent protection that you are not going to be exploiting, because for the 20 years that you are granted exclusive rights, you have to pay annual maintenance fee to the various patent offices where you filed for patent protection. And that is not cheap at all. Imagine you have to, let's say you have filed for patent protection in 20 countries, and for maybe let's say the annual maintenance fee is 500 per each patent office. So if you multiply 20 by 500, that would be a lot of money if you're not generating any revenue from your patented technology. Also, achieving the patenting threshold is not that easy. Because a lot of tests, a lot of checks are done. The role of your patent examiner, who are the people responsible for assessing these things, their main role is to deny you. So you have to prove that really this is patentable. The good thing is that it's more of an interactive process where you are allowed to respond to queries they have back and forth until they are satisfied. And also just registering for a patent protection, it doesn't come, or it's not a quick thing. It takes time. From the date you make your first filing or where you are accepted to have filed, when you submit a complete file or a complete application that is accepted after the formality examination, it might take a minimum of 2 years for you to get your patent protection. And those 2 years, your information is already in the public domain. Some people can start exploiting it or start researching around it. So maybe I did not mention one of the reasons why we require full disclosure is also for academic purposes and research purposes. People are allowed to use your patented technology or patented information for research and development purposes. So these are some of the disadvantages. Once you file for patent protection, your critical information is out there for people to exploit it. And we also mentioned that patent protection is territorial, so your rights are not global. So which means people in other countries can exploit your IP rights because your information has already been disclosed as long as you have not filed for protection in the relevant country. And also, this patent protection is specific. It only sticks to what has been specified in the patent claims. So these are some of the challenges that and disadvantages. These are some of the advantages and disadvantages of using patent protection. I think even all the other intellectual property rights that we're going to be using, each has its own advantages and disadvantages. So you just have to assess and make informed decisions based on the advantages. If they outweigh the disadvantages, then probably it's the way for you to go.